Welcome to the Delaware Mortgage Rate Weekly Mortgage Market Update for the week of March 23rd, 2015. Hello, I'm John Thomas with Primary Residential Mortgage, here to give you your update. Well, I want to start off this week with a quote. If you are not part of the solution, then you are part of the problem. So ponder that. But last week, mortgage rates were able to rebound lower. If you take a look at the bond chart on the screen, you can see that giant green candle up on Wednesday. That was a rally in the bond market after the Fed, the Reserve's Open Market Committee, released their statement. That was a huge jump up, rallied interest rates lower after the trend had been for them to move higher. And then Thursday and Friday, we were able to close above a level of support. And Friday, we actually closed above the 50-day moving average. So with that in mind, we're going to recommend floating your Delaware mortgage rate to start the week to see if the rally in the bond market can continue and move interest rates lower. Now, if we dig into the news, the big news last week was the Federal Open Market Committee, or the FOMC, had their meeting, their two-day meeting, and when they released their statement at the end, they changed the language in their statement about when they're going to raise short-term interest rates. They went and used the term they're going to be patient. So everyone was expecting them to raise short-term interest rates in June. Now we're not even sure if they're going to do it in 2015 or not. So that rallied the stock market, the bond market, and the oil market. All of that rallied on that news. And the short-term interest rates is the federal funds rate, which is currently at 0.25%. That's what the money banks can borrow from the Federal Reserve. So if they're borrowing it on the cheap, they can lend it out on the cheap, which hopefully encourages business to borrow and grow, which is why the stock market rallied. Now, they also lowered their prediction for gross domestic product this year. They're predicting the GDP to be between 2.6 and 3%, and they lowered that projection this year to only 2.3 to 2.7% range. So a lower GDP means they're expecting a slower economy this year than originally predicted at the beginning of the year. Then we saw weak initial jobless claims come out on Thursday. Claims jumped higher by only 1,000 to 291,000 claims for the week. That was higher than expectations, but basically remained the same as the previous week, which was 290. Now, this initial claims report last week is the one that's going to be used in the March jobs report, so that may be more positive news, so we may see a better than expected jobs report for March. That could pull some steam out of the bond market. That comes out the first week of April, so be on guard for that because we may recommend locking as we head into that jobs report. Then in the housing news, we saw housing starts for February 2015 plunged 17% from January to 895,000 starts on an annualized basis. Remember, housing starts the number of new homes that new home builders have started construction on. So that dropped 17% in February, and that was attributed to the harsh winter weather that we experienced in February, because that was throughout the country. Midwest, East Coast, even down to Texas was getting snow. Building permits, however, for February 2015, they were up 3% from January, better than expectations at 1.092 million units on an annualized basis. So builders are still planning on building. Just the housing starts was delayed for February, but building permits was up. That's a sign of future construction. Then USDA is working on files submitted 3/9/2015 as of today, Monday the 23rd. So they're back to a 10 business day turn time to review files. So you need to have about 2 weeks at the end of your transaction if you're doing a USDA loan for them to review the file and sign off. And that's assuming they don't ask for anything new. And then in the local news, the next first-time homebuyer seminar is Saturday, April 18th in Newark, Delaware at the Christiana Hilton Hotel from 10 a.m. to noon. And then the next one in Dover is Saturday, April 25th from 10 a.m. to noon at the Dover Holiday Inn. You can register for either one of those events by giving us a call in the office at 302-703-0727 or online, www.delawarehomebuyerSeminar.com. Look forward to seeing you guys next week.